Hey, I'm going to run through the steps for taking our sketch from Inventor to Artworks and then to the laser engraver. So first you're going to have opened up your part file. We're going to go to Tools, Document Settings, switch units from inches to millimeters or whatever it might be and put it in millimeters. Hit Apply, Close. The next step is to export this face. We're going to hover so it highlights, right-click, and choose Export Face As. This creates a new file type called a DXF, where I will need to save this. This is the front wall. Put _2. I've already got this one, so make sure you know what you called it and where you're saving it. And notice this is a DXF file. It is not an Inventor part file, not an IPT. Hit save. You're now ready to import that file into Artworks. So open Artworks. In your Start menu, you may have to search for it. Okay, you can use the search function. It'll be Artworks V8. Import is right here. It's also under File or Control-I. That'll let you go navigate to your file. You may have to choose this and go back, start at your name, and kind of work your way back to your folders. Click Open, and it imports it. Now in our steps, you see that I had written to group. Right now this is highlighted. You can see these little gray boxes. They're kind of marking off the highest point, the furthest left point, kind of at the middle. I can move, let me zoom out a little bit, I can move this by dragging the purple X. And right now it's all selected. It's going to kind of move as a group. But if I click away to unselect and then reselect, notice that the pentagon is selected and not the circle. I can actually move the pentagon and the circle. Oops, I just messed that up. Now where does the circle go? I can hit the undo button and take it back, but I don't want to have to worry about these two not staying together, or if I ever try to rescale things, not have them scale up or down together. So what I can do is I can highlight all of it, and then I can use the group button so that if I select one part of it, I get everything. Okay, so that's that. Any changes I make here, I'll be able to save, but that's only to come back into Artworks. It's not to save for the engraver. Before I'm ready to go to the engraver, I'm going to have to set the power settings for the engraver. Each sketch that you maybe have can be assigned different colors, and each color can be assigned different codes. Let me ungroup this and just show you real quick. Ungroup. So let's say I wanted to do something different with the circle. Okay, I'm going to show how to take a file off the jump drive of the engraver, which plugged right in here into the side. And I've turned it on with the key. And then here's the menu. For the menu, you've got an up, down, right and left, an escape button to go back, a start button, and enter button here. So we're going to use these things to navigate. First off, you're going to hit File. The engraver calls this jump drive here, calls it the U-Disc. So you see a U-Disc plus. I can use the right arrow key to come over to this menu over here. I'm going to choose U-Disc plus, hit enter, and then I want to read the disk, so I hit enter. And then the files that are on the disk are going to show up right here, so I could, if there are more, scroll up and down to find the one I want. And then once you're on the one you want, it's highlighted in blue, then you can come over here and say copy to memory. Hit enter, it copies it. Copy successful, hit enter. Okay, now hit escape all the way back. Okay, now that the file is in the machine, you hit the file button. And then you've got a list of all these. Usually the most recent one that you've imported is right at the top of the list, but otherwise you can go up and down and find it. And so we're going to select it, which there it is. I had imported that one. I'm going to hit enter. It shows up on the screen. shows the power level here, just kind of a quick little summary. And now if I come over to the engraver, okay, I can move the head using the arrow keys, just going right and left. And I can hit a frame button, which right here will show me how much space it's going to take out, and it's going to snap back to whatever point is currently set as the origin point. So it moved back to the upper right for a second, and that frames out a box that shows how much space it takes to run this print. Okay, if I want to change my origin, I use the arrows and I move the nozzle to a different place. And then once it's where I want it, I hit the origin button. That'll be the new origin, and then I hit frame again just to double check. Okay, so I'm going to adjust my wood just a little bit so I'm starting near the corner. And when I hit frame, what I'm watching for is to make sure that this doesn't leave the edge or maybe overlap something else that's already on my wood. So I'm going to make sure it stays on, and then I'm pretty much ready to run the program. Okay, so to run it, I got to close the lid, and I have to turn on down below the water cooler and the ventilation. Okay, and the hose should be out the window. Okay, and it's all ready, and then we just hit the start button. Now let's start the program.